YouTube, welcome to my GGC. It's your boy Geddon, and I'm back with a new EA college football video. So let's get it.
YouTube, what it is, it's your boy Geddon, and I'm back with another video. Before we start, make sure you hit the like, subscribe. If it's the first time to my channel, please hit that notification bell on all. I got all types of content coming your way. I wanted to break down the highlights and the lowlights that a lot of people are missing in the College Football 25 first look. Straight up, I gotta say this. Right off the bat, the game is looking pretty good. It's looking fun, it's looking fast. I like the fact that the game looks more visceral, looks harder hitting. The running backs seem to run with urgency. You know, they seem to be more glued to the ground, so when they make their cuts and jukes, they're way sharper. It looks really good. I commend EA for coming back into the college football realm and coming back to this level. They're doing a great job. I hope that this continues, but I don't know. I can't give EA the benefit of the doubt. I just know what they do. And that dreaded word, reskin, is prevalent. I know we want to not think that this game is a reskin, but it definitely is. So let's get started. Let's go through all these clips that I put together and let's look at the highlights and the lowlights of the first look of College Football 25. Let's go. Right off the bat, on this kickoff, this blocking interaction I love because it looks specifically for kickoffs. Kickoff blocks are way longer. They're angled a certain way. There's a lot more momentum that blockers have to deal with. This looks good. I like it. Really quickly, this is going to be in slow motion because the clip is so fast. There's something odd with the tackling. There's not enough real-time physics in College Football 25. There should be way more gang tackles and pileups by now. This is 2024. Backbreaker was released, I don't even know when off the top of my head, but it was released on the Xbox 360. But all I do know is we need to have way more real-time physics in our football games. Football is a sport of collisions and physics. We gotta have more physics in our game. Here is a good example of what should have been a gang tackle of 3 or 4 defenders and 1 ball carrier. Trust me, I'm going to talk about the positives, but here is just another negative. And this is a negative side of being a reskin. There's a lot of the same coding that's in Madden and in College Football 25. I made a video maybe on Madden 21 or 22 where a defender literally gets stunned. When I say stunned, they pause in their movement or they react really late to a route that a wide receiver ran, and this is exactly the same thing. This needs to evolve by now. There should be a reaction from the linebacker to guess the wrong direction of where the wide receiver or the tight end is going. The tight end runs it out, the linebacker just sits there, then is slow to react to the route. This needs to evolve. This needs to evolve because I want more immersion on the field. The user reacts to the run because I guess he knew it, but if you look at the rest of the linebackers, they kind of react really slowly to the run. For me, I just want my defense to actually react better. I don't know the ratings of this team, but I just want my defense to react a bit quicker. There are many different design choices EA can go with to showcase good and bad players or players who are slow to read a play. You can have players running the wrong gap assignment. You can have players that can't get off of a block. You can have players that can't get around of a block. It's all types of different design choices that EA can make, and I just wish EA would just stop pausing defenders. This run was nice. The run blocking, though, was even better, and most astounding was the wide receiver blocking on this DB. They started at the number 10 at the 10-yard line and then moved all the way over to the hash mark. I love this block interaction. It really showed dominance. It showed momentum. It showed a lot of good, a lot of great things that EA is putting together in College Football 25. I promise you this video won't be all negative, but stuff like this should not happen in any simulation football game. Okay, it looks like a star outside linebacker is following his assignment way too long. He clearly could see that the quarterback still has the ball as he's trying to stop the screen, I guess. This was really odd programming right here. Again, another negative and just a weird interaction on the right side of the offensive line and the defensive line. We have a defensive tackle phase right through a defensive end or outside linebacker. It's just a bit of an eyesore because, the rest of this game looks extremely good. I may not be talking about everything that's great in this game. We can't have blocking animations and defenders phasing through those blocking animations. There needs to be way more physics and collisions and players that are smart enough to run around other players. This is the same thing that Ryan Moody spoke about for years in Madden. So if this game is not a reskin, how is this possible? Yes, this is something that I really do like, and I was just puzzled why this wasn't ever in Madden. This was already in 2K5, I think 2K4, and All Pro Football 2K8. Coverage shell changes. That's a real part of football. That's what happens on the field. I am so glad that EA incorporated that somewhat into their gameplay mechanics. The only downside to that is you only have the choice to pick 2 different coverage shells, bluffs or looks or changes. Here we have some really good run block interactions. We have 2 double team block interactions that aren't stagnant, that are actually going east to west, and it looks dynamic. And I'm gonna bring up some real-time physics here because it's just a good mash of players right here. Don't you think it would be awesome if it was just one big pile up or one big scrum at the end of this play? Also notice, no gang tackles. I'm not even seeing double team tackle. And you see right here, it definitely should have been a double team tackle right here. In this beautiful run, this is exactly what I mean. The ball carrier is more glued to the ground. The keyframe artists really put their foot into this game. This juke animation looks really good. It looks really sharp and quick as Donovan takes it to the house. Let's go. Yes, even though this was a dot, it was a great pass under pressure, but let's look at the offensive line and defensive line. I love the interaction here with the defensive tackle just dominates the guard. It's violent. I love it. But why does the defensive tackle stop right before he gets to the quarterback? And before you say he didn't want to get pass interference, I can't agree with that, because it literally looks like this was the end of the animation. Here, I can't understand. I can't even explain fully why the defender stopped right before he got to the quarterback. It's just odd. This spin move right here is special in my opinion because it's angled differently than other spin moves that we've seen in this first look. This looks really good. I love the fact that EA put multiple spin moves depending on the angle that you're running and the momentum that you're pushing. And right here, this stiff arm probably was the biggest and best animation or interaction, highlight, whatever you want to call it, in the whole trailer. This was really dope. I love this stiff arm. This stiff arm, it's angled. You remember back in the day when you threw a stiff arm, you could only throw a stiff arm to the left and right. This is accurate to where football should be. This was dope. But unfortunately, the AI does some weird hit stick tackle instead of following through to take down the ball carrier. That's just weird. And the tackling is really suspect in College Football 25. I'm not the only one who noticed it. Darius Slayton of the New York Football Giants, my team, even he noticed it. But that stiff arm was hellacious. I love it. This is exactly what I'm talking about, where the tackling is suspect. The ball carrier or wide receiver catches the ball, makes a cut, rubs against the defender, runs right past him. It wasn't a juke. It was barely a cut. It was just an angled direction the way he was running. It was no like shimmy or anything like that. The defender actually makes contact with the ball carrier and there's no interaction at all. That is very odd to me. If I was a game developer, I would make sure that the ball carrier and defenders, there's always some kind of reaction, some kind of contextual animation. I would even put it into gameplay, make it a gameplay mechanic, make it that if you're off angle while you're going at the ball carrier, you're gonna give off a weak arm tackle or something like that, so that the immersion level stays consistent with everything else. I think that's the main problem now with EA branded football games, is certain elements look very realistic look really good. This bad element kind of sticks out even more. If EA could just spend a little bit more time on the details, man, that would make a world of a difference. But by now, I believe that there should be an actual animation interaction to make these PI penalties totally legit and very obvious. Besides just running to the receiver, why not the defender? If the user gets too aggressive, why not have him actually push the wide receiver or grab the wide receiver or something and make it look realistic? Again, attention to details. You know what else would be really dope? You see the cornerback is celebrating, right? But he just got a penalty. What do cornerbacks normally do after celebrating good defense or what they think is good defense? As soon as they celebrate, they turn to the ref or notice that the flag is on the ground and they complain. Imagine if they did that. Imagine if they cut to the ref and that same DB interrupted the cutscene and say, "What are you doing?" and walked off. That would be dope. That would be so dope, you know? And here, as we get towards the end, again, suspect tackling. Maybe this interaction should have been slight because the user was off. You could chalk that up to user error for sure, no doubt. Not everybody is good at tackling. I get it. Not everybody has high level tackling in terms of ratings. I totally get that, but it needs to be another interaction here. It needs to be some kind of push off, arm tackle, some weak attempt, something. It can't be the user was this close to a wide open tackle, an easy tackle. He didn't juke, evade, or nothing, and he just flat out misses the tackle. Kind of weird. And that wraps up this video. This is only part 1. I have to set this up the way that I do. I have to do part 2 at another time. I'll have that for you more than likely tomorrow. I showed some positives, but the positives were very, very obvious. I was going to be wasting my time showing you that, but I had to showcase my concerns about College Football 25. But let me know what you guys think about all of that in the comment section below. Part 2 will be coming tomorrow. This is all I got. This is your boy Geddon. This is the GGC. So I am out of here.